UK property owners are discovering a brutal truth. What was once their greatest asset has quietly become their biggest liability. Stamp duty bills exceeding £50,000 on average London homes. Council tax rising faster than inflation. Mandatory energy upgrades costing £20,000 or more. And mortgage rates that have tripled since 2021. The people leaving are not just young renters priced out of the market. They are established homeowners, retirees with fully paid-off properties, families who believe they had finally made it. They are selling up and getting out not because they want to, but because staying no longer makes financial sense. Today, we are breaking down why millions are giving up on the UK property market, where that money is going instead, and what this quiet exodus means for everyone left behind. UK property has become mathematically unsustainable. The UK property market hasn't just become expensive. It has become mathematically impossible for ordinary people. In late 2021, the average UK mortgage rate was around 1.8%. Today, it's over 6%. For someone with a £400,000 mortgage, that means monthly payments jumping from roughly £1,500 to £2,400. That's an extra £900 every month, £10,800 every year. Money that must come directly out of household budgets that were already under strain. For many families, this is the line between financial comfort and real stress. Council tax, the silent wealth drain. Mortgage costs are only the beginning. Council tax has become a stealth wealth tax, one that hits homeowners regardless of income. In many areas, the average Band D council tax bill now exceeds £2,000 per year, with some London boroughs charging over £3,000. For retirees on fixed pensions, council tax alone can consume 10 to 15% of annual income. Add energy bills, insurance, repairs, and maintenance, and property ownership stops feeling like security and starts feeling like a constant drain. Stamp duty, trapped in your own home. The UK operates one of the world's most punitive property transaction tax systems. Stamp duty can consume 5 to 12% of a property's value. Sell a £600,000 London home and buy another at the same price, and you could pay £20,000 just to move. For many families, this creates a property trap. They can't afford to move, but they can't afford to stay. Energy rules are turning homes into liabilities. New energy efficiency regulations are forcing property owners into expensive upgrades. Bringing older homes up to standard can cost £15,000 to £30,000. For landlords, non-compliant properties become unlettable. For homeowners, poor energy ratings reduce buyer demand and sale prices. Property is no longer a passive asset. It's an ongoing capital obligation. Who is actually leaving the UK property market? This exodus isn't random. It's concentrated among groups who have hit different breaking points. Retirees. Retirees are the largest group exiting UK property. Many sit on homes worth £500,000 to £1 million, but property wealth doesn't generate income, it generates costs. Running expenses alone can exceed £800 per month. For someone living on a £20,000 annual pension, property costs can consume 40% of income. The solution becomes obvious. Sell the house and move somewhere the cost of living actually works. Buy-to-let investors. UK buy-to-let is now one of the most heavily taxed and regulated property markets in the world. Mortgage interest relief has been removed. Capital gains taxes increased. Energy upgrades mandated. Tenant protections expanded. Many rental properties now operate at a loss after taxes. Professional investors are exiting, selling UK portfolios, and redeploying capital elsewhere. Young families. For young families, UK property has moved from expensive to impossible. In London, the average first-time buyer deposit now exceeds £100,000. Monthly payments often consume 50 to 60% of household income. Many families are choosing to rent indefinitely, move abroad, or abandon ownership entirely. High-income professionals. Even six-figure earners are questioning UK property. Marginal tax rates of 40 to 60%, combined with high transaction costs and ownership taxes, make UK property unattractive. Internationally, Mobile professionals are simplifying selling UK assets and establishing tax residency elsewhere. Where is UK property money going instead? British sellers aren't just cashing out, they're reallocating. Portugal. Despite tax changes, Portugal remains a top destination due to residency incentives and lower ownership costs. Spain. In many Spanish cities, properties that cost £800,000 in London can be bought for £300,000, with far lower ongoing expenses. France. France offers rural value, lifestyle appeal, and lower transaction costs. Dubai. Dubai has become a magnet for UK property capital. Zero income tax. No capital gains tax. High rental yields. Lower prices than prime London areas. Asia and Australasia. Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, and New Zealand attract investors seeking stability, affordability, and familiar legal systems. Not all capital goes back into property. Some former UK property owners are doing something else entirely. They're holding cash, moving into equities and bonds, choosing liquid assets over illiquid bricks and mortar. Property is losing its reputation as a default store of wealth. The ripple effects on the UK economy. This exodus doesn't happen in isolation. As homeowners leave, councils lose tax revenue, local spending declines, remaining residents face higher council taxes. In many regions, fewer buyers mean falling prices and longer selling times. High-income residents leaving also means a loss of human capital, particularly outside London. Fewer working taxpayers must support the same level of public services, accelerating fiscal pressure. This is not a correction, it's a structural shift. The UK property exodus is more than a market downturn. It reflects a fundamental change in how people think about ownership and wealth preservation. Policymakers face a hard choice: reduce property taxes and slow capital flight, or maintain current policies and watch more wealth leave. So far, signals suggest the government plans to extract more revenue from remaining owners rather than make ownership attractive again. Remote work has changed everything. Remote work removes the final justification for UK property prices. If you can work from anywhere, why choose one of the world's most expensive and heavily taxed housing markets? For many, the answer is simple: you don't. Conclusion: millions are giving up on UK property not because they lack loyalty, but because the numbers no longer add up. When costs exceed benefits, rational people make rational decisions. They sell. They relocate. They redeploy their capital where it works harder and causes fewer headaches. The UK property market was built on rewarding ownership. Today, it punishes it. Until the economics change, the exodus will continue. For millions of Britons, that decision has already been made.